I care more about what we're making than the people involved in it, but not in the same capacity that like a big production company would, where they're like, okay, we care about what we're making because we want to make money. I care about what we're making in the sense that I want it to be real and true. That's all I care about.
Gary, what the fuck's going on besides you enjoying our lovely traffic?
Yeah, dude, I was gonna lose it. I almost did, man. The fucking traffic here is fucking insane. It's an amalgamation of different idiotic types of driving slammed together into a way over congested freeway system and convoluted web of roads, of which half are closed off, and there's an accident, which I'm starting to think that people in LA crash on purpose just to get a break from the traffic. And it's just a fucking nightmare, dude. Every time I'm here, I generally am not driving, and I forgot how fucking bad it is. The last time I was here driving was during the fires that we made a documentary covering the fire, last January, and there was nobody outside. So there was no real traffic until the last day we were here. And, I was like, it was taking an hour and a half to get across town. And then I sort of remembered the last day, but I was like, okay, no big deal. And now I'm fucking losing it, man.
I warned you beforehand. You're like, oh, I'm coming from the west side. I'm like, okay, best of luck to you on that.
Yeah, you did. You told me, yeah, it'll take like an hour. Maybe it might even be over an hour. And I was like, okay, I'm going to plan for that. And I had to get my phone fixed because I broke it on the way to the airport. And so which by the way, traveling without a phone is like almost impossible. You can't do anything because of two-step verification. Can't access Instagram. You can't text. You can't call. You can't access a map. You can't use your calendar. You can't check your contacts. You can't rent a car. You can't get on the plane without your boarding. But so I had to do everything old school, which was fine. And I was using a map. I was literally mapping out where I was going with the map in the rental car, which is all this is fine. I have no problem with any of this until I can't get in touch with anybody because everything's digital now. I don't have a fucking book with numbers in it. But yeah, dude, so I was getting my phone fixed and I was thinking, okay, I'm going to make sure I give myself enough time to get over here. And it said 59 minutes. So I left at about, what time is it right now? Probably 7. I must have left like 5 minutes before 6.
Yeah, it's 7:45 basically right now.
Oh my God. Holy fuck, dude.
I warned you.
That's insane. That's even longer than I thought it was.
Yeah, well, you were here like 20 minutes ago trying to find parking, so.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Jesus, man. Dude, when I was in college, I went to, I was in film school at Santa Barbara City College. And I ended up getting an English degree because I wanted to graduate early and get the fuck out of there because I was, getting myself in, I was almost getting back into trouble. But I had the choice in my mind. I thought I'm either going to go to LA, Austin, Texas, and then in the back of my mind was fucking, what is it? Where's that? Where's FSU? Tallahassee, Florida?
Yeah.
It was.
Oh, that's like Gainesville, isn't it?
I don't remember. I was thinking it was Tallahassee. Anyways, it was one of the 3 places.
Oh, it is Tallahassee.
It is, okay. I was going to go to UCLA or UT or FSU, and because they all 3 had good film schools, and I've always been interested in film. And I thought, dude, I don't want to move to LA. I'd be a small fish in a big pond. Whereas if I go to Austin, people are predicting it's going to grow with technology and the film and the art and the creative industry in general and media. And I'd be a normal size fish in a normal size, even some would argue a small pond. And it ended up working out pretty well for me. But I'm just glad I didn't move here because of the traffic, dude. I for sure would have blown somebody away by now. Well, I'm not kidding at all.
Most of us find a neighborhood we like and don't leave it.
It's very, yeah, dude. And that's why there's a gang problem. They're like, get the fuck out of here. No, that's definitely a thing. Everybody's sort of, coagulates into their own little bubbles across the city.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then going from one place to the other, it's like a fucking mission to Mars, man.
As I was telling you on the phone, like, a girl I know came in from New York and asked me to meet me in Venice for drinks on a Saturday night. I'm like, yeah, girl, I'll see you next time you're in New York.
Yes. See you later, loser.
You want me on a Saturday night to commute to fucking Venice and drink? Nah.
Yeah, and then, yeah, dude, what's drunk driving like here?
I plead the fifth.
Yeah.
I plead the fucking fifth. You don't want to do it.
Dude, I feel like LA is the type of city where you can just kind of blend in and disappear into the crowd, you know? This is a place where there's so many people and so many scumbags that you can just kind of get away with being an asshole and nobody will notice because it kind of just goes with the flow. You know, it's so big.
Oh, you're 100% right. We have a 1% clearance rate for hit and runs with injuries.
What does that mean?
So of all the hit and run injuries, the cops actually solve 1% of them if they have injuries. If they have injuries. If it's a hit and run with no injuries, they don't solve it.
So there's just no point in well, I guess I'll keep that to myself for liability purposes. I have a rental car right now. I get what you're saying.
Yeah. It's just like,
yeah, you just run somebody over at a crosswalk and
Well,
stay around, buddy.
Yeah, you made it. Hell, a friend of mine got rear-ended pretty badly, like bad enough that she had a facial reconstruction surgery like a year and a half ago.
Oh, shit.
They have no clue who the fuck did it. Dude just took off.
And they didn't check a camera or anything?
1% clearance rate.
That's horrible, actually.
Yeah.
That's horrible. Somebody getting that fucked up that bad and they get away is horrible.
Oh, yeah.
You know, maybe like bumping somebody or scratching up the son of a gun, you know.
I mean, hell, my fucking car was hit and run parked a couple of years back. And that's how I found out about all this shit, because the cops were like, if I hadn't produced the evidence, they're like, it would have just gone in a pile.
So you had to do the police work yourself.
I did.
Yeah, that seems to be a worsening trend in major cities that people are dealing with. The police aren't actually doing the footwork, so to speak. They're not actually doing their job. They're just like, yeah, well, if you figure out who it is, let us know and we'll go get them. It's at that point you're like damn near you're verging on vigilante justice being a better solution.
I plead the fifth on that.
Yeah.
But this poor bastard just had the misfortune of hitting me because I was a private investigator for a number of years.
You were?
Uh-huh.
Oh, shit. Okay.
I had his plates in under 24 hours.
Ah, okay. So you already know. So yeah, it's sort of the same thing as being a journalist. Is it maybe in a different capacity? Dude, tell me about that. That's pretty cool.
I was mostly working in insurance fraud cases, so it's just like go sit on someone's house, wait till they fuck up, violate their restrictions.
Whoa.
Yeah, I did that for about 3 years. That's my audience knows that shit. That's actually how the origin of the podcast started. I started listening to a ton of podcasts on that job doing surveillance. I went, oh, I already work in porn. I know a lot of people.
You
like
working in porn too?
Oh yeah.
Wait, what?
I was in porn first.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I guess all I ever talked to you about was just doing podcasts. I didn't actually know your backstory.
Yeah.
So you were filming porn, or
I was working as a production assistant. I started off like doing security for girls. So.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you're in like security. You're doing stakeouts, PI stuff, insurance fraud. That's pretty cool, actually.
It's being a PI is the most boring and exciting job at the same time, because you may have an 8-hour day of sitting in your car
and doing nothing,
fucking nothing, and then you may have a 6.5-hour day of fucking doing nothing, and then they leave their house, and then all of a sudden you got to tail them to wherever the fuck they're going, and then you're with them until they go home.
And the insurance companies pay for all that.
Mm-hmm. It's just good business. If you are injured enough and they're going to have to pay out enough, it's just worthwhile for them to hedge their bets to send an investigator out to try to mitigate their losses.
Right, and eventually they'll catch somebody and save a fuckload of money.
Well, even if you are legitimately injured, if they can catch you slipping up and reduce what they have to pay out.
Gotcha. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Like, say,
even just wow. Okay.
Yeah, say like you have a foot injury and I catch you fucking. This legitimately happened. I had a dude with a foot injury who was on comp, fucking walking around his house out on the pavement, fucking barefoot. Like, yo, dog, where's that foot injury?
Right.
And I'm sure he could claim, oh, I was just having a good day. The pain subsided for the day or whatever. But it's still like, when that goes to court, when that goes to a settlement, they show the footage to his lawyers and be like, we can put you up on fraud charges too.
Yeah.
How would you like to settle?
Yeah. So you're doing the work on behalf of the evil insurance companies.
I was, yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't done that job since 2018, but
2018. So, wow. Well, I mean, everybody's got to make a buck. I get it. I'm just fucking with you, but that's pretty fucking intense, actually.
oh no,
That they hone in on people that much. They cover it that tightly.
well, some of these payouts are fucking six figures.
Yeah, that's true. I guess in the age of litigation that we live in, there's like, people getting paid. I remember when I was maybe I was a teenager or a kid, there was a lawsuit that this dude's suit was like messed up at a dry cleaner or something, and it was like millions of dollars. And I remember thinking, how is that even possible? It's like, what's that? What do they call that when you're sued for the extraneous stuff?
Yeah.
What's that called? Why am I spacing out?
I am spacing out on it too. This is great podcasting. Two people like, nerd.
Huh?
Oh.
No, it's like the extraneous costs that affect you. Like, oh, okay, my suit wasn't dry cleaned on time, so I missed a job interview and lost a job, and that ended up resulting in me losing out on a 6-figure salary, and then I lost custody of my kids or whatever. You know,
that's what happened with the dude who totaled my car. I sued him for another $10,000 on top of the settlement I got.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I lost out on a gig over it.
Really?
Yep.
And that they paid that out.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, see, this is the thing. I always get fucked in court. Always.
Oh, we never made it to court. We settled out of it.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Like the gig I lost out on was for about $6,000, and I sued him for 10. And they're like, "Well, we'll pay you the 6." I'm like, "Perfect."
And did he have a lawyer? Do you guys have lawyers talking about this?
He had a lawyer, but here's the thing: in California, small claims is up to 10,000, and you cannot bring a lawyer to small claims.
Right.
That's why I sued him for 10.
Gotcha.
I'm like, I'll fuck you up in court. Me versus you, with the footage of you plowing into my car, pulling out, not even checking damage, and driving off.
Right.
We can go.
Yeah.
We can go.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. That's intense.
So his lawyer called me up. He's like, "You don't care who pays you, right?" I'm like, "No, I don't fucking care." He's like, "All right, let me call the insurance company. Like, let's just get this done."
Wow. Well, shit, dude.
Insurance company paid me an additional 6. That's all I really wanted. You can't, in any contract negotiation, no matter what it is, you can't actually start with what you want. You have to let them talk you down.
Oh, well, yeah.
That's why I started at 10.
Yeah. Interesting.
Because if I had started at 6, I would have gotten 3, 3.5.
Well, you fuck yeah, dude. Nice.
But enough about my shenanigans. What have you been doing with yourself in fucking Austin? Like, last time I saw you, you were being an absolute fucking maniac.
Yeah. Yeah. So we were talking about this in the elevator. We met probably 3 years ago through Bobby and
Robert Dean for the audience at home.
And Bobby and I both were pretty heavily drinking at the time, if I recall correctly.
Oh, he'd been drinking heavily since the moment I met him in Chicago.
Yeah, I was gonna say he was always a big drinker. He's sober now too.
I know, it's so weird.
Which is good for him. It's
more for the rest of us.
Yeah, well, he was also kind of. I think he was maybe not as bad as me, but I think that I remembered a couple of times I was with him and some shit was kind of happening, and I was like, "Oh, dude, maybe we shouldn't be drinking so much. Just being too fucked up and almost fucking things up, you know." But nonetheless, yeah, I don't really remember that whole chunk of my life.
Really?
When I was because I was drinking so much and we were doing so many drugs. When the comedy scene sort of moved to Austin, I thought it was just a party. And I was working my ass off. Don't get me wrong. I just started a production company and was doing like 80 hours a week, which doesn't really bother me. I'm not saying that that's like anything special because I think everybody that kind of runs a business is operating in that capacity.
100%.
You kind of have to when you're starting out.
Until the point where you can afford employees. I'm going to be editing the minute you walk out the door here.
Right.
Like, it's the part of being a creator and entrepreneurial spirit that people don't fucking talk about. Like, that's the perk of having a fucking Joe job. When you punch out, you don't have to give a fuck anymore because it's someone else's business, someone else's problem. When it's your fucking business, there's no fucking real time off. Everything is your problem. Everything.
Yep. Yeah. It's 24/7.
Exactly.
I don't think a lot of people realize that.
No, they just see the end product. They see the end result. Oh, you're so cool. You get to fucking make a living doing this thing on the internet. Like, do you know how much fucking hours and time and uncertainty? There's no guarantees with any of this shit either.
That's the part I like, though. It makes me go fucking nuts, dude. It drives me insane. And then it ends up pulling the best part out of me to make it work. Because when your back's against the wall, that's when you really, you know who cracks and who doesn't. And also, I think that, at least with me, I think my dad's kind of like this too, in a certain capacity. I think I just do better under pressure. I used to have a saying that what did I say? It's I actually have it laser engraved on a revolver. Live life like there's a gun to your head. And I'm not trying to say like, because I one time I posted something about it and people were like, wait, you're saying you want to kill yourself? And I'm like, no, dude. Live life like it's the last fucking moment you have. Make the most of everything. It's supposed to be positive. But I think certain people, myself included, do better under pressure. Also, this is hilarious. When I sat down, I saw this and I was like, this explains my life. And that's exactly what I'm talking about, though. If you got a gun pointed at your head, either sink or swim,
Well, and that's the thing. None of this is fucking promised. You can get into a fucking car accident on your drive back to Venice.
I could get blown away on my drive back.
Yeah.
I probably will. The odds of something happening are basically 100%. And you know what I mean by that?
And it'll be unsolved.
Yeah, nobody's gonna fucking know what happened to me, man.
Sick. I get your last moments on film.
Yeah. Hey, live life like there's a gun to your head. 20 minutes later, just blown away. People say it's a suicide,
Hey, it'll be good for the numbers.
Hey, speaking of which, I am not suicidal in any capacity. And I say that because, so I've been working on this documentary. Well, we put this documentary out, but I'd been working on it for a while, just curating content and doing a lot of research. And as I've been publishing stuff, a lot of people from Puerto Rico have been telling me that what I'm doing is dangerous and risky. And when we were down there, I was getting that too. And maybe some of it's hyped up, but I think that there is a relative level of concern that some people have for me that is, it makes sense.
Why don't you tell the people what you're doing that's so risky?
Well, that's what I was leading into. Yeah. So basically, we're working on. And when I say working on, the documentary is already out. We produced a documentary that's exposing corruption in Puerto Rico, specifically this financial board that's operating as a shadow government. And they've sort of been funneling money off from Puerto Rican tax dollars, specifically, off the island to these Wall Street law firms and consulting agencies and lawyers and investment bankers and stuff. And they, to the tune of $2 billion, but they're
Is that all?
$2 billion
in modern times. I feel like that's pretty low in the level of corruption.
Oh, dude, Puerto Rico, it's very poor.
Well, it's true,
and it's very small. It's only got 3.8 million people, maybe. Here, let me put it in perspective for you this way.
3.2 million. There's more people in LA. There's more people in LA County than there is in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, well, LA's fucking one of the biggest cities on earth.
Well, yeah,
it's not really a good something it's not a comparable population. I would say the way I like to frame it is,
hey, Austin only has 993,000.
Yeah, Austin's not very big.
Well, comparing it to things.
Well, what I was gonna say is, what I've been comparing it to is when the Spanish went over there and extracted all the gold deposits, and when I calculated it out, it was man, I can't remember how many troy tons of gold they took, but it was equivalent to roughly $5 billion, and that would make this essentially the largest, plundering of the island since the inception of the island. So when you look at it that way, it's pretty fucking monumental.
Oh, it definitely is. Hopefully the Wall Street Bros are being a little less than the conquistadors did.
I see. This is the part where it's sort of debatable because I've only what the 2 billion is just what I have found and what other people have just talked about. So, there's rumors of this amount of money was taken, and then I look into it and I confirm what people are saying, and it's probably bigger than that.
Oh, for sure. I mean, sure, there's shell companies and other bullshit.
That shit that's really difficult to find. Because what I was looking at was all, on paper and relatively easy to find in terms of research. You just have to kind of know what you're looking for. I imagine that there is a lot of other stuff that I don't know about. And that's why I'm like, man, this could potentially be as bad as the conquistadors, which is crazy.
Could be.
I mean, if you think about that historically and contextualize it historically, we're basically comparing how do I want to say this? What I've been saying is it's modern day piracy, right? But it feels like there's something more to it. There's
it's a continualization of colonialism.
Yeah, it is. It is that as well. You know what, dude? That's funny you say that. I got a comment on one of the reels I made earlier. Somebody said, like a week or two ago, they said, can you translate this into Spanish? And I was like, no, you can. If you want to do that, I don't fucking know Spanish good enough. And I just spent 3 months making a documentary and basically like not sleeping, getting this done. If you want it in Spanish, you can translate it, and there's a captions button on YouTube and you can read the captions. I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm just saying, like, I've already done the fucking work. If you want something done your way, do it your way. That's how I operate. And all I said was, yeah, go for it. Translate it. That's all I said. And they're like, well, why are you being an asshole? And I'm not going to share this documentary because you're not talking about colonialism in the documentary and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, dude, holy shit. That's like, you're basically saying that you don't give a shit about the work that I've done.
You bruise their ego.
I mean, what a fucking selfish asshole.
Oh my God. In 2025, almost 2026, there's selfish assholes on the internet? Never.
Could you imagine if somebody was doing something to expose what's something personal to me? I'm from Ohio. The heroin epidemic. Growing up, Montgomery County was one of the worst in the whole country. And I was relatively young when I had friends start ODing and dying. Could you imagine if somebody made a documentary in German about the heroin epidemic in my hometown, and I spoke German, and I was like, this is really good, but can you make it in English? I mean, what a self-involved asshole.
Well, that's just the nature of content creation. Anytime any motherfucker doesn't...
But do it the way I want it to be done.
And it's always coming from some motherfucker who has made nothing, ever.
Every time. That's a good point, dude. That's a good point. Because, God, dude.
They have made nothing. They've contributed nothing. And I just got into it with someone on my comment section literally last night about, you're such, you don't take constructive criticism. I'm like, you have 6 followers and no YouTube channel. You're not my peer. Why would I fucking have anything why would I take your advice?
Right.
If you don't like my content, go elsewhere. This is not constructive criticism. This is you bitching because you're allowed to about something you don't like. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I don't need you. Go elsewhere. Go to another fucking show that does it the way you like it. This isn't Burger King. You don't get to have it your fucking way.
This isn't Burger King, bitch. No, I totally feel you on that. I mean, I tell people to fuck off all the time. It doesn't bother me, but
and I look at them as engagement. I encourage them.
Well, yeah, that's really what it is. That's the positive way to look at it.
Well, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you say as long as you're saying something. The algorithm doesn't give a fuck if it's positive or negative. They just care that you comment. So yeah. I purposely antagonize people to fucking post more.
Yeah, I mean, I whenever somebody says some weird shit like that, I generally just, I'll have some generic, like incredible. I say that a lot. I'll say if somebody says something dumb, I'll just say, "Hey, that's incredible." But um, when it's somebody that's really engaged with the content and they, you would think that it's something that they want to support or
They're passionate about.
yeah, it's really weird when people get like you said, I guess it's a bruised ego. I didn't really think about it this much until now, but I think you're probably right. It's just weird. We're on the internet here.
Well, and that's the thing. Everyone's the center of their own story. They're the protagonist of their own story. So how dare you talk to me like that? I'm the hero of this fucking story. Everything should be my way.
Yeah, I've also I guess I've made probably a bunch of asshole comments and said totally insane shit. Dude, you know what's funny? On the way here, somebody on Instagram, a couple people actually, they DM'd me and they said, dude, somebody outed you on this fucking YouTube channel. I don't know who it is. Some guy named Greg. I think he's like a bodybuilder or something. And they said, somebody outed you on there, man. And I was like, what? And they said, yeah, go to this video at 3 minutes and 55 seconds. And I guess it was a fucking, it was a video of this doctor, bodybuilder guy talking about health. And he was talking about taking steroids and shit. And then he's like, yeah, and you're going to be so horny that you're going to be attracted to whatever. And the guy's like, see, he's gay. I knew it. And I was like, what does this have to do with me? And he said, let's go to the comments. And then all of a sudden up on screen, it pops up, Street Gonzo, I'm a gay man as well. That's what I got. And I laughed out loud in the car, like, because I'm stuck in traffic and I was about to freak out. I see, I'm viral in some guy's video just claiming I'm gay.
You wouldn't think that would be big news in 2025.
Well, I say that all the time too. I comment all the time on videos and I just say, I'm a gay man. I just think it's funny. I don't give a fuck. Dude, it's social media.
Well, it's social media, but also like if you're actually confident in your heterosexuality or whatever your orientation is, why the fuck would you be bothered by like, I'm a gay man? Like whatever.
Why would I be announcing it in the comments?
Right.
Like I came out as gay in the Instagram comments of some random guy's video. I just make comments on Instagram for myself, if I'm being honest with you. I don't give a fuck if anybody sees them, but I make them because they make me laugh. Some guy, I don't know, man. I say that kind of shit all the time, though. I'll just be like, I'm gay now.
I'm glad to see that like complete maniac has not completely left.
Yeah, I'm out of my mind, dude. I just don't drink anymore, which means that I'm basically the only difference is that I just can't get a DUI now. I'm not that much different, I guess.
What made you actually stop drinking?
Well, dude, I had a heart attack, and then there was a couple of other things. What specifically? I don't know if there was a specific thing. I just kept getting in trouble, dude. Just generally fucking things up, and I realized that the probably the main thing was that the drinking always led to doing more drugs, and then the more drugs would lead to me not really getting a appropriate amount of sleep and then missing jobs or missing gigs or what have you. But just generally, I wasn't as productive as I should be. And then I quit drinking and almost instantly my career went like night and day. I think that's just because when I start drinking, though, I turn into a kind of a different person. I'm like an evil version of myself. I'm not a good person when I drink. That's the actual answer, I guess. I'm a fucking like kind of a piece of shit. All the worst shit I've done when I was drunk. Also,
Like
I've
what?
You know,
Only mention stuff that the statute of limitations is passed on. Please.
yeah, I don't care. I mean, I'm pretty open about stuff. I just a general like, pissing all over the place in like bars, like pissing on the bar, talking shit to people, getting in fights. cheating on a girlfriend or something. Like pretty much every time I've ever been arrested, I've been drunk. I've never been arrested sober ever. I mean, that's a pretty big one. And then just general drug abuse and stealing and pretty much anything you could think of that is kind of a scumbag activity. Um, Destruction of property.
Putting razors in kids' Halloween candy.
Yeah, poisoning young children around the holidays. Um, firebombing schools.
Burning crosses. I get it.
No, I don't know, man. I don't have any specifics that come to mind right now. I would just do dumb shit and get hurt and hurt people emotionally big time. I was a fucking asshole to women specifically when I would drink. And I still am sober, I guess, but it just was much worse, dude. Like, cause I already don't really have a filter. Cause I'm pretty honestly, man, you know what's funny? A lot of people used to this is actually kind of funny. I was thinking about this the other day. I used to get called an asshole all the time by like pretty much everybody. But nobody really thought I was a bad person. They were just like, yeah, he's out of his fucking mind and he's a dickhead. And people that I've met since I quit drinking, they're like, you're not an asshole. I'm like, oh, okay. So it really was just the booze was basically not for me, you know? And I probably knew that from when I was a young teenager, getting fucked up and, you know, like catching trees on fire and stealing things and robbing houses and all that kind of shit.
Like B&E robbing houses or fucking home invasions?
No, not home invasion. I'm not that bad of a person.
I don't know.
Just a B&E. I finally got picked up for a felony B&E when I was 18 or 19.
It's back in Ohio?
Yeah. And then I got the fuck out of town. I was on a diversion program for a while and I don't know the exact timeline, but at some point into the diversion program, I got arrested at a fucking a New Year's party because there was this big whole fucking thing with these people getting in an argument, and one of the guys was this big white dude, and they were football players, I think, and he was picking on somebody, like kind of a stoner buddy of mine, if I remember correctly. So I was all drunk and fucked up, and I threw I think it was like an Old English or a Mickey's 40, and I threw it as hard as I could at him, at his head. And then it started a brawl, and then somebody got stabbed with a fork, and then another guy jumped out of a window. And anyways, the cops showed up, and I got arrested while I was on this diversion program. And I almost went to fuck, because basically the way the diversion program works is your time gets all put on the shelf as long as you complete the program without getting in trouble. And then I got put in handcuffs, and I was fucking freaked out. I thought I was fucked, but I ended up getting out of it, and more or less, yeah, I got the fuck out of Ohio after that. Went out to California.
Ohio's not a good place to be. It's where people gave up.
Well, it's a good example of what happened to America in general. The factories and manufacturing left, and it basically hollowed out everything, and everybody got addicted to heroin because of their parents would have a fucking prescription to Oxycontin or something, or Vicodin or Percocet because they got injured on the job because it was all blue collar factories and shit and farms and stuff, and their kids got into it. It's everybody basically. I mean, the whole fucking state was like addicted to heroin, dude. That's not an exaggeration. It was bad. It sucks. But yeah, the manufacturing all left, so nobody had any jobs, so they had nothing to do except just get fucking high, and there's no real hope for a better future there, I guess, to a certain degree. I mean, that might be exaggerating it a little bit, but
no, I've been to Ohio. I've been to Ohio a lot.
It's tough.
I've had sex in a trailer park in Ohio.
Yeah, that's so you got the Ohio experience.
Oh yeah.
What city was it?
Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Oh no, did I fuck her in Columbus or Cincinnati? No, Cincinnati.
Cincinnati's you're gonna get more of a trailer park vibe from Cincinnati. Columbus is a little bit nicer. It's the capital, so they clean it up a little bit more. But dude, Cincinnati's on the verge of fucking going to Kentucky, buddy.
The airport's in Kentucky.
It is. It makes no sense. CVG. It's literally the Cincinnati airport is in Kentucky.
It is. Oh yeah, no, that girl sent her kids away for us to fuck in the trailer that night.
Oh man, that's tough.
Yeah, I popped.
Yeah. Dude, yeah, that's that's Ohio, man. Holy shit.
Hey,
So you had a good time.
oh no, I've had plenty of good times in Ohio. I have friends that live in Cincinnati to this day.
It's a fucked up place.
It is.
It wasn't always like that though. It got dramatically worse in the early 2000s. I'm telling you, dude, the opioid epidemic, it like ravaged the state. It dramatically changed the overall feel.
Well, all in all, most of the Midwest sucks.
I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say most of it. I'd say Ohio's pretty tough. What else you got? You got Detroit. Or, I mean, Michigan's part of the Midwest, isn't it?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, Detroit. Yeah. Whenever I think of Michigan, I think of Detroit.
Right. Well, and that's Michigan does it right. They put all their shitty parts in one city, and the rest of it's like all like.
That's a good point.
Detroit, well, except for Flint and the water, but
yeah, Flint's fucked. Detroit is a shithole, dude. It sucks.
I've never been. Like,
I actually like the people of Detroit. That's the thing. I don't think they're even. It's Detroit is what happened in Ohio on an even more dramatic scale. There was all this manufacturing and GM and all these car manufacturing, and it just got hollowed out.
It was basically a company town, and then,
yeah.
Well, and that's the thing.
Gary, Indiana is another example of that.
Oh yeah, fucking Gary, Indiana.
That place is fucked.
Oh yeah, no. Since you know nothing of my background, I worked for an armored car company for.
Dude, what have you not done? What the fuck?
I've had a lot of weird jobs.
I was a private investigator. I worked in porn. I was a fucking. I
had a music label in the mid 2000s. Like, I've had a lot of jobs.
You've had an eclectic background.
Yeah, that's why I'm a good podcaster. Right?
Also, do you have another one of these?
I do.
Can I just go snag one real quick?
Yeah, go grab it out of the fridge. We used to have to cover Gary from the routes in Chicago and shit. I was servicing a fucking ATM in Gary, Indiana, and some dude tried to sell me a TV off the back of a truck while I'm servicing an ATM.
That pretty much sums up Gary, Indiana. I've never actually been there, to be honest with you, but I've watched a fucking ton of YouTube content. Excuse me, a ton of YouTube content about it, and I've seen all this footage of this abandoned stuff. It literally looks like people just left. They didn't even bring it. Dude, that's what Detroit looked like back in 2008.
But at least with Detroit, like, Detroit's starting to get a rad art scene because it's affordable. Like, artists are starting to fucking move there and shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, I must have missed that when I was there last time.
Well, like anywhere, you probably have to know where to fucking go.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's not like, oh, I'm going to just stumble around this random street in Detroit and it's going to be awesome.
That's how I do my journalism. Literally. I just show up places and kind of just, I mean, I make a preliminary plan, you know. I have a sort of a production schedule, very, very loose, but I sort of stumble and bumble around and then usually happen upon something cool or interesting or dangerous or out of control or whatever. And Detroit was one of the only places I went where that didn't really happen. We did actually, the only thing we stumbled upon was a group, a couple that we caught cheating. They were like, dude, we walked up to them and they were like, oh shit, are we on cheaters?
Why would you start that conversation like that if you thought you were on cheaters? Why would you?
I was like, what? It took me a second and I was like, oh shit, they're fucking cheating on their spouses.
Holy shit, pro tip. If you think you're on cheaters, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, definitely. We were just out there doing man on the street interviews and that's what they said. And by the end of it, they were like kissing and talking about how they loved each other. It was so weird.
I know. Love is terrifying. That's really fucking weird. Why would you? Public affection? Gross.
Oh man. Well, you know, when you're married or something, it's talking about it was like we caught them in the act, and instead of being like, oh shit, I didn't do this, they were like, fuck it, we love each other.
If we're doing this for love.
Dude, so you got any other weird stories about the armed?
Oh, plenty.
Dude, hit me with some.
My audience has heard a lot of them. But yeah, I almost shot a guy outside of a grocery store in 06.
Where?
Des Plaines, Illinois.
Really? Okay.
Chicago suburb.
What's this about? What happened?
Sorry to the audience who's probably heard this story before, but it was on Saturday. And I used to roll into work hungover as shit every fucking Saturday. Every fucking Saturday. Just hungover as shit. And we were picking up Dominic's, which is the equivalent of like Vaughn's Safeway. And in Chicago, the entrance door and the exit door are generally not next to each other. We go in and out of the exit door because it's next to the cash office. Go in, make the pickup. As I'm coming out, there's a 2-seater parked behind the truck. 2 guys looking at me talking. I'm like, this ain't right. It's a 2-seater. They're not waiting on anyone. And Dominic's used to send these inter-office mailbags that we had to fucking pick up, like fucking this big. So I pull my Glock and I just kind of hide it behind the fucking mailbag. And as I step out into the street from the inner door of the vestibule, the guy in the passenger seat runs at me. Gray hoodie, hood pulled up, hand in his front pocket. You got to see the business end of the Glock. This went down so fucking fast that all I got out of my mouth in this whole interaction is, you stupid motherfucker. No stop or I'll shoot. And in my head, it was like slow motion. It was like, oh shit, this is going down. This is fucking going down. This is fucking going down. Holy shit. If his hand had come out of his front pocket, I would have shot him dead. If he had been white, I would have shot him dead. Dead serious. And like the fucking split second it was going down, I'm like, if I shoot an unarmed Hispanic man, I'm going to prison.
Yeah.
Like if I misjudge the situation and this guy needs to take a shit real bad and he didn't have a gun or something, I am going to fucking prison. But if his hand had come out of his pocket, I wasn't going to take the risk.
Uh-huh.
I would have just fucking shot him dead.
Damn.
Sorry. I would have shot to end the threat, Your Honor.
Right.
That's the proper verbiage.
You don't shoot to kill, you shoot to stop the threat.
Right, yes. That is the proper verbiage. He sees the gun, runs past me towards the entrance door. I just keep the gun tracked on him. I bang on the truck door, throw myself into the truck. My partner, who's normally a pretty serious dude, is on the ground crying, laughing. He's like, I think that guy pissed himself. My heart's just like, did you fucking see that? He's like, oh yeah, man, dude, I think that dude fucking pissed himself. I have no idea what happened to the dude in the car. I had complete tunnel vision on that dude.
What a fucking retard. That's crazy. He just...
Oh, no, he was making a trial run. He was going to see, if I didn't react to him, you come back in the future and fucking do it for real. Armored car robberies statistically are a cased fucking job. No one, for the most part, just does it on a whim.
Right. Okay.
So he probably saw me on a previous Saturday just hung over shit, kind of like dragging. I went, oh, well, that's the guy.
Damn, dude. So that's how they practice that. That is dumb as fuck.
Yeah.
That is idiotic.
Yeah, like, because I told the internal, I didn't report it that day. I'm like, it was one of those things like, should we call this in? And the social standards of it, like, I was on the second man on someone else's route. I'm like, should we call that? And he's like, shit like that happens all the time. Let's not bother.
It happens all the time.
And his route. So I'm just like, all right, man, whatever. Let's keep going.
What the fuck? That's crazy. That's funny that you said that if you shot a Hispanic guy, you'd go to fucking, you're fucked as opposed to a white guy.
Oh, I just, in my,
the optics of it,
yeah,
I know exactly what you mean. That's it. That's not good that we're at. I guess society's always probably been like that to a degree, whether it was one way or the other.
This is like 2005, 2006. Like, it was one of those just like, if I shoot an armed Hispanic man, I'm not a cop. I don't get qualified immunity. Like, this is all going to be fucking civil, even if I'm in the right. Like, one of the things they trained us on was like, if you shoot someone, you're going to get sued. It's better to be sued by their next of kin.
I see what you're saying. Wow, that's interesting.
Oh yeah.
So you're basically working a job where you're getting the shit under the stick regardless.
Oh, 100%.
No matter what.
100%.
You're really hung out there. You're like bait on a fishing pole.
Oh yeah, and
a fishing line.
You're bait on the fishing line because like the difference between that job and being a cop is people generally are shooting at cops to get away from them. People are shooting at you on that job to get what's in your hand.
Yeah.
So generally, when shit goes down, it goes down in about the distance between you and me. And it's an ambush.
Mm-hmm. So
my thought process always was on that job, I'm going to react violently to everyone.
Fuck yeah.
Because if someone like, even though if like, I know you're not a threat. If someone's casing this truck, they see I react like that, they're like, we're going to find someone else.
Right.
It was all fucking theater.
That's crazy that's how they... That just seems like a really fucking stupid way to test that out. Like that litmus test could get you fucking killed. But also, anybody robbing an armed truck's probably a fucking moron, anyways.
Oh, for sure.
How
Like,
much money do those things even carry?
depends on the day, depends on what you're doing. I mean, in my hands, I probably had like under 10 grand that it came out of the grocery store.
What?
On the truck, yeah, there's over the course of my day, yeah, there's a couple million on the truck.
What?
Yeah.
Oh.
But
Ooh.
how are you
Well,
going
that changes things now.
But how are you going to get on the truck? Like, policy is if you take me hostage, my driver's supposed to drive off on me. Because
Dude, every new thing you tell me just makes you getting another shit end of another stick.
Oh,
It's like
100%.
you're just fucking.
well,
I'm out to
it's one of those
drive
things.
completely.
Because statistically, if someone gets into the truck, they kill everybody and then just take the whole fucking truck.
Okay.
So the mindset is, oh, if they just drive away with the truck, well, is this person going to commit a murder just out of frustration?
Well, I guess that psychologically that makes more sense. Yeah, like they're less likely to do that than
Yeah. Are you going to catch a murder beef for fucking nothing?
for nothing because you're not going to get the money anyway.
Right.
Interesting.
So I told every driver who ever drove for me, if you drive away on me, you better hope I don't survive. Because we're going to have problems next time I see you.
How often do those things get robbed?
In Chicago, in those days, citywide between all the major carriers, like there'd be like 1-2 hits a year.
This is 20 years ago, roughly.
06, though, we got hit 3 times in 06 alone.
Wow.
One of my guys got shot in the face and neck coming out of a fucking mall in Calumet City.
Oh, man.
I had to fucking finish the route and take the crime scene photos. And this wasn't just a random coworker. This is someone I used to drink with.
Oh, fuck. That's heavy.
That was the last time I willingly had a cigarette.
Jeez.
Like, I'd been quit smoking for years, and my route was the first route in the day, and like, there's a very set procedure on like when a robbery happens. And that procedure started going down. I'm like, oh, fuck. And one of the supervisors, comes running out of fucking the dispatch like, Hank just got shot. I'm like, yeah, let's go. And like, as we're driving, he's chain smoking. I'm like, give me one of those. Like, fucking, this is a dude I know. And then I get there, like, blood just fucking everywhere. Like, this is August. We got there an hour after he was shot. The blood was still wet. That's how much blood he lost outside.
Good Lord.
And they're like, here's the company Polaroid. Take pictures. And then I had to finish the route.
Oh, my God.
And
another shit end of the stick.
some poor bastard almost got himself shot in the mall because this is at a fucking mall, and I had stops in the mall still. As I'm walking into the mall to make one to pick up some guy who had obviously heard about the shooting was like, best watch yourself around here. I'm like, what the fuck did you just say to me?
What?
Yeah.
What is up with people testing armored truck drivers? What the hell?
This mall's kind of in the hood, so.
That's a wild thing to fucking.
Oh, yeah, no, he backed out immediately once the gun came out. I'm like,
He got scared.
yeah, he's just like, what the fuck did you just say to me? Because I'm obviously on edge.
Yeah. Yeah. Duh.
Yeah.
So that's so I'm gonna put.
So I don't know how this podcast became about my fucking.
No, dude, it's interesting, man. It's interesting to me. I didn't know any of this stuff. We need to get Mike Rowe from Dirty Jobs.
Not an armored car.
I mean, armored car security is definitely, that's got to be one of the worst fucking.
Oh no, it's a horrible job, especially
the risk reward on that. Were you getting paid good at least? Let me guess. No.
sort of.
Okay.
So when I started in 2003, it was a family-owned company it was formerly Illinois Armored, then it was United Armored. We were the largest carrier in the Midwest. My hourly sucked, but upper management literally did not care how much you worked. As a 22-year-old dude, I just fucking
work.
Yeah, literally, if you came in on your day off, they would reward you by allowing you to choose whatever route you wanted to go on.
Oh, okay.
So I just worked like a fucking dog. Like, I think my starting wage was $10 an hour, and I still made like $60,000 my first year.
$10 an hour? Oh, this is 20 years ago.
Yeah. Oh no, it was a shit wage.
It was still shitty then, huh?
Yeah, it was a shit
I'm
wage.
trying to remember what was minimum wage back then.
Probably it's only $7.25 now.
Yeah, but it used to be way less, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I'm trying to think, man. Around that time, I was working at a grocery store, stocking shelves and occasionally bagging groceries and working on a dairy cooler. And I think I got paid roughly minimum wage.
So minimum wage in 2003 was $5.15 an hour.
And now it's
$7.25.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Dude, we're getting fucked.
Oh, for sure.
This is okay. This is a perfect segue into the Puerto Rico stuff. All right.
Good. Enough about my fucking bullshit gunslinging stories.
No, that shit's interesting to me. Seriously. Okay, so Puerto Rico. Okay, we just mentioned that the minimum wage in the United States used to be 20 years ago. Let's just say it was like some odd dollars.
$5.15.
And now it's
$7.25.
$7.25. It's gone up $2. All right. Making what do this math real quick. What is a full-time employment at $7.25 at minimum wage? What does that make you right now?
So hold on. So for every 10 hours, that's $72.50. So $145 for 20 hours.
That's like 15 grand a year, roughly.
Yeah, it's $290. Right? It's $290 a week.
And 290 times 52 weeks in a year. Yeah, $15,080. Yeah. Okay, so
before taxes.
Before taxes. So in Puerto Rico, this is the typical income of a Puerto Rican individual per capita is $18,000 a year.
Dude, Puerto Rico has a $10.50 minimum wage. They have a higher minimum wage than the U.S. federal.
Well, that's interesting. I guess I didn't know that. I wonder how that plays into things. Because like what I was saying was their typical salary is $18,000 a year. And the median salary of a family is like $25,000, which is it's the poorest part of the United States, for sure.
I mean,
maybe other than like American Samoa, but
Mississippi's coming on that.
No. Puerto Rico's it's poor.
I'm being
the reason I bring it up is because when you look at how much money people are making in the American mainland, right? Like I want to say the median salary in Texas is probably like $40K. So it's what is that, like 40% higher?
Yeah. So the Puerto Rican minimum wage comes out to $21,840 before taxes per year.
Yeah, but that's not what the actual salary is. Because you got to remember, dude, if you average in that per capita, there's a lot of people that are basically just living off of like food stamps and shit because there's no jobs there. That's what I was getting at, basically, is that in Puerto Rico, having a job that's making minimum wage is basically the average typical day to day. So think about $7.25 is barely enough to fucking survive. They're living off a little bit more than that per person. Anyways, the reason I bring it up is because what interests me about this whole Puerto Rico thing originally was that I saw this tweet that this lawyer was on retainer for $850,000 per month, which is $28,000 a day. So he's actually making, this guy's name is David Brownstein, by the way. He's actually making more than a Puerto Rican family.
Puerto Rican individual's annual fucking salary.
No. More than what the Puerto Rican family is making in a year in a singular day, because he's getting paid this exorbitant consulting fee to negotiate the bankruptcy of the power company, the government-owned power company. And so I saw this and I was like, well, that doesn't make any fucking sense. What's going on here? So I did some, rudimentary research, and basically Puerto Rico has been bankrupt since 2016, and they filed what's called Title III bankruptcy. It's not normal. It's not a normal bankruptcy. It was essentially, it occurred through the PROMESA Act, which was an economic stability act that was passed by Obama in Congress, or rather it was passed by Congress and signed by Obama to allow these entities in the island to declare bankruptcy in this special way. And then it formed the Financial Oversight and Management Board, the FOMB, or as they call it on the island, La Junta. The board was formed to monitor and regulate the finances and mitigate and resolve this special bankruptcy of the island and the government entities within the island, like PREPA, which is the Puerto Rican Electric Power Authority. That's the government power company. So I looked into all this stuff, and I was like, this is clearly something fucked up is going on here.
Well, yeah.
Because this bankruptcy with the power company has been going on for over 8 years, which is officially now the longest municipal bankruptcy in American history. So I've already heard like sort of rumors about Puerto Rico being really corrupt, and some of that's because of these like tax incentives. Some of it's because of colonialism. Some of it's because of just the fact that it's not a state and it's still a territory, so they get treated like second-class Americans. And so
taxation without representation.
Pretty much, they can't vote for president, and there's probably some other things that they.
Well, they have like one, advisory representative,
but he can't vote.
Right.
That's funny that you know that. I did not know that.
Oh yeah,
I didn't even know they had that. Is what I'm saying. But dude,
I'm a little smarter than I look sometimes.
Dude, I think a lot of people don't even realize that Puerto Rico is like they're U.S. citizens. I don't think a lot of people even know that.
Well, yeah, a lot of Americans are fucking stupid.
Well, why is that? Think about it, you know?
Well, it's because it's easier to manipulate people that are uneducated and don't possess critical thinking skills or don't look to better themselves or learn shit. Well,
it's because we're conditioned that way. The education system is conditioning people to basically not think about anything.
Well, no, it's about, hey, can you pass the standardized test so we get more funding?
That's another big part of it, because the education industry is just that. It's an industry. It's not actually it's not really a learning vessel.
No,
but
learn more from fucking YouTube these days.
Well, yeah, that's for sure. I mean, that's why a lot of people are starting to homeschool their kids or take them to like private schools and shit, because the public education system is just fucking complete.
Please don't homeschool your kids. Please don't.
Why?
Because you're probably
way better than public education.
You're probably a moron, and at least you need to get your kids socializing.
I don't know about that. Public school is pretty fucking horrible.
No, public school is fucking horrible. But guess what? Society is horrible. At least let your kids socialize in it and learn how to fucking interact with other human beings.
If society's horrible, I'm not fucking putting my I don't want my kids socializing with them.
They're going to have to when they're 18. You might as well get them. Okay, if you shelter your fucking kid and they don't get to interact with the other horrible human beings, they're not going to know how to react when someone fucking tries to scam them and someone bullshit on them.
That's assuming that, homeschooling your kid means you're not going to expose them to the world outside of the
but system. There's a whole another thing about saying the example of something and them actually having the experience of it. In actual school, it's low stakes enough.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is you're saying that if somebody's homeschooled, that they're just not experiencing the outside world, which is not true. I know people that have been homeschooled. They're still interacting with society.
Yeah, but not to the same degree.
Which I think is a good thing. I mean, society, like you said, is horrible.
It is.
The public education system is a fucking joke.
It is. No, you should supplement the public education system. You shouldn't just be like, fuck them. They're not my problem for 8 hours a day. But I think there's so much to be gained from the social interaction. Also, I have a vasectomy and I'm never breeding, so probably taking parenting advice.
Oh, yeah. That's giving someone parenting advice when you don't have kids is
Oh, no. I'm never having children. I'm so happy about it.
Yeah.
If someone fucking finds me in 18 years or some shit, I would be so angry.
Yeah. No, I would never, if it was up to me, my son's in private school, not by my financial choices. Trust me. I'm not mad about it, though.
You fucked up? Good shit.
Well, no, I mean,
like you fucked up.
Oh, yeah, literally, yes.
Not you fucked up, you fucked up.
Yeah. Well, it's cool because he's in a private school, so he's getting sort of this like, even if you're kind of a shithead, you in a private school situation, you're like pretty much automatically getting a better roll of the dice or a better hand of cards dealt to you than going through public education. I got kicked out of a Catholic school when I was a kid. And then I went to
sucking dick.
I went to public education, and I mean, it's a fucking joke. I was smarter than most of my teachers. It's actually embarrassing. That's why, like, going to going to school and being smarter than the teachers that you have is like, what are you doing? And then you start getting in trouble, and I'm telling teachers they're fucking stupid. And
But it's one of those things where, like, why would anyone who's sane take the fucking job of being a public educator? It pays shit. You have nothing but stress. Hell, and previous administrations have changed. Well, the current administration in their previous term changed the tax code where they can't even fucking write off buying supplies out of their own fucking pocket. It's a thankless fucking job. Why would anyone with a reasonable brain decide, oh yeah, I'm going to deal with this fucking bullshit for?
Yeah, they wouldn't. That's why I don't know why people send their kids to public school, because they're
no choice.
The teachers are. I think that's. I don't know. I mean, we could debate this if you want, but my point was basically, I think what we were talking about was that how did we get onto this?
Puerto Rico.
No. Well, I guess maybe we were talking about the education down there.
Well, we're talking about the education down there. We're talking about. God.
I do not trust the government at all. I'm very anti-authority. I do not like the fucking education system. I think it's pretty much resembles prison. I've spent a lot of time in jail, and for a day or two on end. But the way that the schools operate very much reminds me of jail. And I don't think people should be raised in that at all. If it was up to me, I would have probably pretty much abolished the public education system, because it was basically designed by Rockefeller to create workers, 9-to-5 workers. And I don't think that's what life's about.
Well, for sure. And it's the whole point of having a college degree. It just shows an employer you can sit down and shut up.
College is even more of a fucking joke.
But it just shows employers you can sit down and shut up and follow directions. For 4 more years. It was wild. The moment I got into the actual workforce, like my first job, I was still in high school. And I'm like, oh, can I go to the bathroom? And my fucking employer's like, yeah, just go. What do you mean why are you asking me if you can go to the bathroom? Because school's like, you have to ask someone to relieve yourself.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying that I don't think anybody should really be. It's indoctrination, dude. That's how I look at it. It's like what Pink Floyd was writing those songs about. It's hyperbolic a little bit, but you're basically just another brick in the wall in public education. And there's no amount of money or supplementation that'll ever change that, because it's designed to make you into a consumer drone, basically.
But the problem is, society needs those people.
No, it doesn't.
It does.
No, it does not. I hard disagree with that.
Oh, no.
I think we've been conditioned to think that. And that's because society existed before the public education system. And it was probably, to a degree, better.
I don't know about that.
You don't think so?
I think it was different. I don't necessarily say it was better. But modern society definitely needs people who don't want to accomplish shit. There are so many
to support corporations.
Well, support just the infrastructure.
I don't think you need public education to do that, though. It helps. I think school is an absolute fucking scam. It doesn't teach you anything you need to know. It's not teaching you how to build shit. It's not teaching you how to fix your car. It's not teaching you how to live in home capacity. It's not teaching you how to do taxes. It teaches you a bunch of shit to get you into a college degree curriculum. And then the people that are really good at listening go get a job, and they throw money at you so that you can sort of operate in a managerial position in society and tell other people what to do. It basically is just creating more gatekeepers to manage this weird fucking pseudo caste crony capitalist society that we operate within. It's a big load of shit, and I don't like it at all. And I don't think that anybody should be. Nobody should be pushed into the consumer drone mindset. I think that's what upholds this whole system that's now falling apart. And people are starting to see that. And that's, to circle back to what I was saying, that's why people are starting to pull their kids out of public education and create like fucking homeschooling systems where they're homeschooling with other kids in their community, or they're taking them to private schools. Because it's very... I think it's pretty, I also talk to people that have kids, so maybe maybe I might be a little more in touch with what people are
Are you
feeling.
saying I'm out of touch with the children?
Yeah, I am. I mean, I don't think that dude, public school's gotten way worse.
Oh,
like,
I'm sure.
dramatically.
I'm absolutely sure. I graduated high school in '99, and
Okay.
like I graduated high school a long time ago, and I went to a good, like nationally good public school.
I went to a good public school too, actually, which is so I'm maybe a little bit of a hypocrite saying all this, but
Well, no, but
I had such a fucking horrible time.
it's not a hypocrite because how many years ago was that? When did you graduate high school?
To 2012.
Right. Fucking 13 years ago. So much can fucking change.
Yeah, dude, I'm wondering how much it even changed since. I mean, here's the thing. I think at one point in time, public schools were probably like at a like in an acceptable range.
I am not mad at my public school education.
Mine wasn't bad, but the problem it wasn't bad in relative to like
I also
maybe some shitty place in Chicago, like in the South Side. I mean,
well, and that's the biggest problem with public education is it's often tied to fucking income tax or not income tax, like property taxes in the neighborhood of the school district.
Right.
That's why it's often fucked. It's like, oh, so because this is a lower income neighborhood, the school gets less funding. Cool.
Yeah, I mean the community basically has less money to provide for the school.
Right, because the property taxes are lower. It's like, well, that's fucked.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, well, I wouldn't want my money going towards a school that my kid didn't go to. You know what I mean?
Well, that's selfish.
Hell yeah, it is. What do you mean? I want my kid to get the
Well,
I
yeah,
want my kid to benefit from my money.
Well, I'm saying if it was evenly distributed between the whole, like, say, like the city of Austin, if the lower income neighborhoods only get it based off their fucking property taxes versus, a higher property tax neighborhood, instead of just equally dividing up into the whole goddamn city and evening it out, what's the problem with that? If everyone just got an equal fucking share.
It depends how you define equal, I guess. If it was like fair would mean that the people whose money would be going towards their neighborhood. Like that would be the equal amount of the money that they'd make.
Well, I mean, that's the current system.
But you're saying you're talking about like equity, like
Yeah.
where you spread it out.
Yeah.
Well, what would be the issue with that? Would be that the argument would be that the people that are making the money, their money's not going towards their kids. That's what I was just saying, basically.
Okay. Are you upset that if the roads are fucking fixed in other parts of town that you don't live in? Your tax knowledge.
I want my tax money. Especially if it's property taxes. I always want it to be going towards my immediate area more so than any other place. Naturally,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think that's like a crazy. It's not a crazy position,
The way I look at it is a larger scale because, like, okay, if you have other people in your same city with shittier educations, that's gonna trickle down to being more crime, less opportunities. It's gonna get fucked. That will eventually affect you.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm not saying don't help other people, but if it's my fucking money, it's going towards me and my family first and foremost. For sure, you better bet your ass.
Well, I'm not saying you fucking get any less than.
I mean,
anyone else.
dude, to take it back to the Puerto Rico thing, that's there. I bet you if you ask people down there, they would agree with me. Their money is being shipped to New York.
Well, yeah, that's fucked.
Yeah, that's sort of a in a way having creating a fiscal control board that determines where your money goes. It takes the sovereignty out of it. And if my tax money is going somewhere that I don't live, it's taking the sovereignty out of the control that I have financially over my family's destiny.
Well, I think there's a big difference between a couple thousand miles away in New York versus the same city, just a different zip code in it.
Well, I mean, it also, the other difference is that the argument is that there's not the money that's being spent isn't actually being spent appropriately. It's being mismanaged, so to speak.
Well, that is a whole nother problem.
Yeah, of course. That's the big issue. That's basically being a lot of people are saying is this shadow government that's running everything and they're superseding laws, which I would also argue is probably happening in mainland America, just not to a degree that's as harsh because
It's not as
our
overt.
living condition, it's not as overt, and our living conditions are much higher. I mean, dude, Puerto Rico to a certain degree, certain parts of the island are sort of falling into the third world.
Oh yeah,
which is
rolling
really
fucking
fucked up.
blackouts and shit like that.
Yeah. I mean, dude, it's been 8 years since Hurricane Maria, and that essentially the grid was already basically kind of, it was antiquated, it was dilapidated, and it was kind of falling apart, but then Maria basically obliterated all of it, and it's been 8 years, and there's people that still don't have power, and there's people that have, they're still operating off generators. They still don't have running water. Schools are starting to use fucking cisterns. You know what a cistern is? I did not know what it was when I went down there. It's a fucking like rainwater harvesting technique. I don't know the ins and outs of how it works, but my point is that like this is a fucking American territory, and they're like using fucking rainwater instead of public running water. It's insane, dude. It's fucked up, and that's the kind of shit that no matter whether we agree about where fucking public education is good or bad or whatever, what we would agree on with tax money is that people should have running fucking water. That's crazy. Like, dude, if Flint, Michigan's water's fucked, I don't care if my tax money goes to fix their water. That's something that's like your basic necessities of life. And in Puerto Rico, they're like, they don't really have it, which is insane because the infrastructure is all there. It needs to be essentially repaired and modernized. And Trump sent down $13 billion.
Paper towels.
Biden sent down money. There's been a bunch of fucking FEMA money sent down there, and it's just sitting there. It's only like less than a quarter of it's been used. And here's the crazy part. It's been obligated to infrastructure projects related to energy, and then part of it to education. And it's not being dispersed because there's a couple of reasons for that. Two primary reasons that I've sort of identified is there's a reimbursement model for FEMA. So somebody has to go spend the money first, and then the funds reimburse it.
And there's no one to spend the money.
There's nobody that wants to spend money on a bankrupt power grid because they don't feel like they're going to get paid. So who the fuck's going to do that? That's one thing. And then the other issue is that there's just this litany of different examples of corruption, like the CEO of Luma Energy. They were a Canadian-American energy venture that was created with the specific intent to modernize the transmission and distribution of the power grid, not the generation, just to specify. And they were created and they took over in 2021. It's been 4 years. They haven't fucking done anything. Like the cost of electricity has gone up, and the reliability and quality of electricity has remained the same. And some people were telling us they think it's gotten worse. I don't know if it's actually gotten worse since we were there because I haven't lived there ever. But some people said it's remained. Some people said it's gotten worse. Some people said it hasn't. But while we were there, we experienced 2 blackouts. I was there for 7 days. There's blackouts all the time for like a day at a time. It's just fucked, man. And yeah, I don't think there's really. I don't think there's much of an excuse at this point for anyone to how do I say this without getting myself into trouble? There's no reason that the bankruptcy should not be resolved. I'm not gonna say.
Well, because people want to make money off of it.
Yeah, that's the part. Yeah, lawyers get paid per hour. You know what I'm saying? So the longer it's dragged out, the more money they make, regardless of what their intent is. It's happening.
It's the same reason people don't fucking come up with cures anymore. They come up with treatments.
Yeah, that's funny you say that, man. You know, something I was looking into while we were down there was the whole. Do you know about raw milk?
I'm aware of what it is.
Okay, I never really knew what the difference between raw milk and pasteurized milk was and how it came about and all that, there was this thing called the swill milk scandal. And trust me, this ties into the treating the symptoms thing. There was a swill milk scandal way, way long ago in New York, right? And John Rockefeller, same Rockefeller that has basically influenced the modern American education system that we were talking about. Rockefeller, more or less, was interested in pasteurization of milk for a couple of reasons, but he lobbied the government to pass these raw milk laws, right? To make pasteurization mandatory, and it was connected to eventually to the in 1987 the FDA ban on interstate sale of raw milk. But my point is, Rockefeller got raw milk. He was the one that got it the inception of raw milk, the banning of raw milk, right? And it was a way that he could price out small farmers from selling milk because they couldn't afford pasteurization equipment, essentially. And you pull the thread on that, and basically the reason that he was interested in getting into nutrition and food and drugs and the inception of the FDA and the Pure Food and Drug Act and all this shit was because he wanted to get a grasp on the pharmaceutical industry. And in doing so, he was able to lobby and influence entities to more or less focus on symptoms and petroleum-derived medicine. And that's why our whole fucking, dude, this motherfucker has influenced every aspect of American life, basically, John Rockefeller. It's fucking crazy. The pharmaceutical industry, the food industry, the education industry. I mean, this dude's tied to all of it. The Rockefeller Foundation was fucking funding research on population control in Puerto Rico and sterilizing Puerto Rican women and testing birth control. And people died and there was no investigation. It's nuts, dude. There's so much fucking conspiracy connected to that guy, and it's all real, too.
I wonder what our modern billionaires are doing then.
That's what I'm fucking saying, man. I mean, what the fuck? That guy was the richest American to ever live. Until now. You know what I mean?
I was about to say,
he was, dude. If you look up in...
Well, no, I'm sure he was. Yes.
It's fucking nuts, man. That dude had so much influence, and he paved the way for this sort of oligopoly that runs things now. Or at least that's what I think it is. It's sort of like a marriage of technocrats and oligarchs, and like Palantir is an example of that. There's like this AI, I don't know if people are familiar with this, but Palantir is this like AI surveillance technology that they're using to keep track of people, I guess. I don't even know what the end game for that is, but it's fucking terrifying that people would I mean, dude, that's like what China does. They I guess, I don't know, I've never experienced it in person, but China basically has like a social credit score, and they track people based on how they think and what they do and what they, like, if you don't agree with the fucking government there, you're basically on a list, which we kind of have here too.
Kinda?
Yeah,
I don't think it's kinda.
Where do you think this list is, dude? Where do you think we're at on this list? I mean, I know for sure that I'm on a fucking list.
Oh, I'm sure I'm on a couple. Sadly, my fingerprints have been registered with the FBI for a long time, so I can't commit crimes. They know who I am.
Armed truck thing?
Yeah. Oh, no, I used to have an airport clearance at O'Hare. So,
no shit.
Yeah, like I've been live scanned to, go past security with a gun.
Oh, shit. Okay.
So, I can't commit crimes. They know who I am.
Yeah, they have my fingerprints for a different reason. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, that's the wild thing where I've had multiple people that are like, you've never been in trouble with the law? I'm like, amazingly, no.
Really? I fucking can't stay out of trouble with the law, dude.
Oh, it's been by dumb luck in most cases. Like,
that's good though, dude. That's good.
Yeah.
Legal trouble will bog down your entire life, your creative process, your finances. I mean, dude, look, think about
there's
this.
a reason there's a massive recidivism with, the American populace. Like,
well, our prisons are fucked.
Yeah. Once you're in the system, it's super difficult to get out. Hell, entertainment is one of the few options you have once you've been in the fucking system. Because for the most part, the entertainment industry is just like, can you produce product? Can you be funny? Can you provide for the entertainment?
The entertainment industry doesn't give a fuck about you either, though. They just want to whore people out. It's fucked.
No one gives a fuck about you. Like,
well, I don't know. I mean,
who?
Your family, your friends, your
no. I'm like on a professional level.
Oh well, I mean, I don't know. I would say you're probably right to a degree, but like when you look at the
have you ever worked a job that actually give a fuck about you?
Relatively. That's what I was gonna say. If you stratify professions and say, okay, well, this person's gonna care more about your well-being than this person is. I mean, there's definitely a difference. The entertainment industry is definitely near the bottom of that, as is apparently armored car security guard. Holy shit. Entertainment doesn't give a fuck about you at all. They literally don't care. They don't care if you're even healthy.
Well, because you're all freelancers. It's all about what you can create for the fucking machine. But no one in corporate America really gives a fuck about you either.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they care about if you make money, right?
Right. Can you be the cog in the wheel that you need to be? That's all they give a fuck about.
Right. But then I've worked at like mom and pop shops where they care about you.
Well, yeah, because that's interpersonal. You're not a line item.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's a stratification of professions where, you know, certain people will care, certain people won't. And usually it's tied to like what your productivity is or what their bottom line is.
Well, even with entertainment, I'm sure you give a fuck about the people you work with in your production company.
I work independently, so I
never hire people?
No, I do. What I'm saying is I would consider myself a little bit of a probably different than other producers because I care about what we're. This is going to sound bad, but I think it will make sense. I care more about what we're making than the people involved in it, but not in the same capacity that like a big production company would, where they're like, okay, we care about what we're making because we want to make money. I care about what we're making in the sense that I want it to be fucking real and true. That's all I care about. And then the people I work with sometimes are like, all right, dude, you're fucking out of your mind. And you're an insane person and you don't care if any of us die. And I'm like, yeah, it's true.
This is what you signed up for, motherfucker.
Yes, but it's like...
You should have done your due diligence before you signed on the dotted line.
Yeah, it's it's all handshake deals with me, dude. I don't like signing things.
But still, okay. They should have fucking... You exist on the internet. It's not very hard to find out that you're a fucking maniac. So
yeah,
if they didn't do a quick Google search to be like, oh, hey, Gary's a fucking maniac, they still signed up.
Yeah, and I think that's probably
they should take accountability.
I get yeah, really. Well, people don't really complain. I guess it's just I think sometimes maybe it's my expectations of what we're doing and the work ethic, like what we were talking about with, you know, when you're an entrepreneur and you're like, well, you're always working. Basically, you can't just you're clocking out and you're done. I apply that to probably a kind of extreme degree. So I think sometimes people think, okay, well, we're going to take a break now. And I know I don't really take breaks, which is not healthy. And I wouldn't recommend anybody do that. I kind of have like an obsession issue, but
could it be an addiction issue?
Well, yeah, fuck, seriously, dude. You're probably fucking right, actually. You probably just hit the nail. Anyways, though, I think that there's I don't have as nihilistic of a viewpoint of it as you do. You're saying nobody cares, but I think there are certain maybe little niches where people independently do care.
Individuals care. People don't care about concepts. It's just like with fucking racists. Every fucking racist has a friend who like, oh, you're one of the good ones. Because they hate concepts. They don't hate individuals. People care about individuals. They don't give a fuck about your nameless concepts. Because at a certain point down the totem pole, you're just a line item. You're not a real person. You're not someone I have an actual interpersonal relationship with. People care about their interpersonal relationships. They don't give a fuck about fucking strangers. You don't give a fuck about all the people that you were in traffic with, you don't give a fuck about like what was going on with their day, that why they were driving like shit. Maybe they had a horrible breakup, their mother died. You don't give a fuck about any of that because they were just interfering with your life because they're just a fucking concept.
That's true, but you're right. I don't care about any of the people in the traffic here in LA, but I do care about a bunch of people in Puerto Rico that I've never met. Why do I care about that? That's interesting.
Why do you?
I don't know. I'm being dead serious. I actually really don't know. I think maybe part of it is I have like a weird obsession with the truth and people being authentic and honest and genuine. I don't like, dude, when people were like, oh, this show you make, like you guys are staging some of that, right? And I'm like, fuck no. They're like, you just jumped in that fountain in Vegas? And yes. And I think there's maybe a combination of factors that play into this, but innately, I want to find the truth of things because I got in so much trouble as a kid that I started getting things blamed on me that I didn't do. So I kind of have a problem with being falsely accused of something. You know what I mean? Like I was always getting in trouble and I kind of painted a target on my back in my own school, which is part of the reason why I fucking hate public schools because my experience was really shitty. And there's probably public schools that are fine. I wasn't trying to like push the point home. I just personally don't like them.
Well, yeah, your anecdotal experience fucking flavored your fucking life. Oh my God.
Yeah. Well, then the thing though is that my experience of public school used to be like an outlier, but now it's becoming a very normal thing where people are like, my kid's getting treated like shit in public school, and people are just sick of it. But
well, your kid needs to grow some balls.
Yeah, fuck school, dude. I will never be a person to just get in line and say, yes, sir. I'm just not that kind of person.
Oh, I didn't do that in school either. Hell, I graduated from the alternative night school from my high school because I wasn't going to graduate on time unless I fucking gamed it.
Yeah. I almost had to do that.
Oh, it was great. I loved it because I worked during the day. Like I was a working IT professional during the day, went to night school. And because they're like, why are you here? I'm like, because I want to graduate on time. They let me just fuck off and do whatever the hell I wanted. And when we had to do standardized tests, I'm like, whatever, this is all remedial.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I think you get more experience from working than you do from school. So when they have those like work school programs, I think that makes way more sense. But
well,
yeah, I just
for me, it was just one of those like, oh, monetary reward versus promise of future fucking success. Because that's all school is. School's telling you, like, if you get good grades, you perform well, you will have a brighter future. Like, or I go work now and I get a paycheck in 2 weeks.
Well, that's what they say it is.
Right.
I mean, school really what it is a socialization system.
But also there's no guarantee that I know so many people that have degrees that don't work in their chosen field.
Yeah. I agree. We need to bring back things like internships and apprenticeships and stuff like that. I don't see why we don't have more of that. In fact, I think that is actually kind of coming back to it.
Well, the trades are the only like safe fucking job right now. Like as creative,
it's a good thing.
It is. But as creatives, like what we're doing is not fucking safe. Someone may be prompting what the fuck we do in fucking a couple of years. They may just be putting in prompts and replacing us.
It's already kind of happening. Yeah. But I don't know if it'll ever totally go away. But you could be right.
I mean, I never thought it would be to this level, and here we are.
Yeah. AI is getting out of control.
It is. Absolutely.
Which is another thing that ties into that whole, what I was talking about before with my obsession with the truth. Now you have not only social media where people are making shit up and staging things
or doing insane shit for clout.
And doing things for clout. Now you also have AI. And that's another fucking issue we're in a paradigm right now where it's very difficult to figure out what's real and what's not. And I think that whatever the psychology behind it is, I can ask a therapist one day. I don't know. But
you can afford therapy?
Therapy's a fucking scam too, dude, for the most part.
What are you, a Scientologist?
Dude, I wish.
I wish down the street.
I wish I could believe in something that much.
You get free acting classes.
But yeah, the I think I'm a decent vessel for what's real. I mean, I like to go against the grain. And when the norm right now in the mainstream, I mean, the news is all fucking fake and garbage, obviously. But when the when the opposing viewpoint is this the raw, honest truth, I think that I've been surfing that vein. Hopefully, hopefully it starts to take over. I was telling you about I don't remember exactly why I was talking about it, but I mentioned this guy before, Andrew Callahan, the dude from Channel 5, All Gas No Breaks. He's probably the epitome of independent journalism right now, and he's a very good he's good at man on the street. I think he kind of kickstarted that whole wave of social media people doing that kind of stuff. But that dude's a good example of the pendulum swinging the other way, or at least away from the mainstream news outlets. You know, what do you think about that?
I'm not familiar with his content, so I
Oh shit. Okay. He used to wear a brown suit and he would just go around interviewing people, just kind of like sometimes crazy people, sometimes serious stuff. He interviewed recently. He's done some more interesting things. He interviewed Hunter Biden, which was bizarre, and he's just done a bunch of sort of shoe leather reporting that I don't think has existed for at least in a digestible capacity for some years, and until he did it. And we need more of that shit.
we do.
First person, you know, right there. We're in the shit because there's so many people, dude. Social media. There's so many people that are doing things for clout, and they just will say some shocking shit so that people will click on their video, and that's gay. Fuck that.
Well, that's going to be a clip just to get people to click on it, right there.
Yeah, I guess so. I didn't mean to do that. I'm just a spaz, dude.
It's all good.
Well,
the way I look at it, because I do fucking rage bait clips. I 100% do. It's just playing the fucking game. Because ideally,
yeah, but you're not making shit up, are you?
no.
Yeah, that's the part that's fucked. The rage bait part is just that's good marketing.
Well, it's creative editing. It's sometimes taking shit out of context just to rage bait people.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, I'm hoping, the hope is, it's a numbers game. That if a clip goes viral and multi-million people see it, the hope that a percentage of those people will click through, watch the whole fucking episode, and actually engage with the real content.
You like to go to the long form.
Go to the long form, actually see what it's about. And, you know, hopefully convert a couple of them to actually enjoying the content. It's unfortunately the game you have to play at times.
Yeah.
I'm not in love with it. I would much rather, present stuff that is just like fun and shit like that. But sometimes that doesn't catch like saying something fucking cringe.
A shadow government's controlling Puerto Rico, like something like that. Yep. But that's true. I guess I'm just talking about when people are like, like that fucking video earlier where the guy showed that comment of me saying, I'm actually a gay man. Like, I mean, the title of that video was something like, Israeli doctor says he's gay or something. I don't remember what.
Well, unless it's on YouTube.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to click that because it's fucking out of control.
Unless it's on YouTube, who's actually paying attention to fucking titles?
Well, yeah, it was on YouTube.
Then people are paying attention to titles.
Oh, you mean like on Instagram or something?
Instagram, yeah. No one gives a fuck of what your
first 3 seconds.
Yeah, no one gives a fuck of what your caption is on YouTube.
Yeah, I guess there's a lot of people.
Or on Instagram, sorry.
But dude, that's always been a thing, like in the mainstream news, it's always been if it bleeds, it leads, because people want to hear about violence and death and carnage and destruction.
They do. Because most people's lives are fucking mundane and boring.
That's part of it for sure. So, definitely.
It's out of the norm. It's why me talking to people in adult entertainment is enticing to some people, because like they don't know anything about this world. They will never exist in this world.
Yeah. Well, man, I wonder, dude, I got a question for you.
For sure.
How has the adult entertainment industry changed from before OnlyFans to after OnlyFans?
Well, that's a very often topic of conversation.
So you're saying it's a nuanced question.
It is because so when I got into the industry in 2010, 2011, DVD sales were still a thing. There were still a lot of major studios.
Right.
There were a handful.
Dude, I just cannot believe that things have changed so much that because I know what you're talking about. Dude, we used to have a DVD when I was in college called The Texas Flood 3 or something. It was just like these girls squirting everywhere. And we just had that DVD. Nobody has that shit anymore.
No.
It's a lost art.
It is.
Anyways, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
It's all good. It's all good. But
I just instantly thought.
Glory days. I understand.
Yeah, okay.
I understand.
Sorry.
It's all good. Well, and in those days, like, the hub existed, like, but the tube sites were stealing people's content and demonetizing them, and they were the fucking enemy.
Right.
They were the fucking enemy. And we progressed to the point where ALO, which is the parent company of Pornhub, Brazzers, etc., is the biggest player in the game. Everyone, kisses the fucking ring when it comes to that. And then you fast forward to the pandemic, everyone thinks that they can get rich quick being on OF. I often see the parallels between podcasting and OF. So
very similar.
Well,
I would agree.
Insanely similar because it's a very flooded market, and neither platform, or OF nor iTunes / Spotify are going to promote you. So how do you stand out from the noise from the millions of creators?
Exactly what we were just talking about.
It's insane. There are 2.5 million creator accounts on OF. Do you know how much the average OF creator makes a month?
No. What is it?
$260. Could you imagine dealing with all the bullshit and social stigmas for $260 a month?
I think that no, I could not. I don't understand how so many people, comedy, podcasting, OnlyFans. I do not understand how so many people think they're going to get rich doing it. It's crazy to me.
Oh, because stupid ego. And especially with podcasting, everyone goes, I know how to talk.
I could do that.
I can do that. I can do that. So I make a fair amount of money producing other people's podcasts.
And that's what I used to do as well. Yeah.
I have a very canned speech for people, for new clients, especially if they're starting new podcasts. Like, no matter what you think of Joe Rogan's content, you have to admit the JRE is a massive show, right? Mm-hmm. Joe Rogan was a nationally touring comic on 2 nationally syndicated sitcoms, the voice of the UFC, and it still took 8 years for that to be a big show. What makes you fucking think that you are ever going to be a big show, Mr. Anonymous fucking person?
Mm-hmm.
If you're a comedian, you should 100% start a podcast as a loss leader for ticket sales. If you're just trying to make money as a podcaster, don't.
Yeah, that's very cool that you're that honest with people, that you really have an incentive to tell them, hey, you're going to be the best at this ever. Pay me to do your podcast. That's really very cool that, you know what, dude, actually, it could be argued that you care about your clients, which is what we were talking about earlier. People do still care, dude.
Oh, no, I don't care about, okay, I'm going to edit that out.
Well,
no. It's one of those things
to be honest, like that is pretty, I think that's a respectable thing.
Well, it's a morality thing for me, and it's also one of those things of like, I've done this so many times. I've started up shows, they've gone for 3 months, and when they make no money, they stop. I don't want to tie my fucking financial horse to someone who has fucking pie in the sky dreams that they're going to make Joe Rogan money over fucking night. Like, if you are still in, I'm happy to produce your show. But if you have unrealistic expectations, like I've had people be like, oh, let's do a pod. You should produce my podcast for a revenue split. I'm like, fuck yourself, pay my rate.
Yep. And that's crazy.
Right.
People talk even about, yeah.
It's always hot girls. It's always hot girls that are like, my podcast is going to be great. I'm like, no.
I mean, you're 100% correct, dude.
Pay my fucking rent.
And those are, dude, I hate to say it, but those are the worst ones. I'm not trying to be a dick, but the worst podcasts I've ever seen were hot girls.
Well, but it's also the same thing like when I have civilian friends who want to get into porn. I tell them every
civilian, dude. I thought I was the only person that used that term.
It's a very common nomenclature in pornography.
Really? Is that where that comes from? I always used it in identifying strippers versus civilians because I used to spend a lot of time in strip clubs.
I'm aware.
Civilian, yeah. That's great.
When I have civilian friends who want to get into porn, I do the same thing. It's like I tell them every negative aspect of it, that this is not guaranteed money. I throw out the $260 average OF fucking money. If you are still down after I give you all the negatives, I'll help you. But you need to be realistic about this shit. Like, if you're getting into podcasting, OF, whatever, you better be doing it for the love of the fucking game or willing to doing the fucking work.
Uh-huh.
And I tell people all the time, especially with podcasts, it's like, your first 50 episodes are going to suck.
Yeah, and it's going to be a money pit for a while, too.
Oh, it may be a money pit forever.
Also possible, yeah.
Or
I should say probable.
It's very probable. There are 5 million podcasts on Spotify. How do you stand out from the noise? And also, how do you convince someone who is listening to the JRE, Your Mom's House, other big shows to take one of those shows out of their rotation and pick your show up? Because people only have so much time in their week to consume podcasts. These big shows are well established. They're not going anywhere. They have guests that people want to hear. How are you going to convince them to put down one of those fucking shows and pick up your show for an hour, 2 hours?
Yeah, I guess I never really thought about that aspect of it. That's a good point, though. Why would somebody watch your podcast over someone else's? I always sort of looked at it as reeling in people that just had nothing else to watch. But it is sort of what you're referencing is a sort of a competitive analysis of exactly.
I do this for a living.
Yeah, I did as well, but I was never really I guess I never really had like an actual pitch the way that you do. Not to say that I was telling people, hey, you're going to blow up and it's going to be great. I was always telling people the same thing. I was like, I'll help you do whatever you want and I'll help you achieve what you're trying to achieve. But I was never like, yeah, you're going to fucking nail it, dude. I'm like, podcasts are fun. That's what I
Well, and that's like when I get new clients, I'm like, are you doing this for fun? Are you doing this for a hobby? Or are you trying to monetize this?
I will say this. A lot of my clients were comedians. So it was actually pretty much always
the loss leader to sell tickets.
It was either to sell tickets or, hey, if I can get enough views, we'll get a sponsor on this. So I guess that maybe my
if your
perception was a little bit different.
If you are a working comedian, there is no reason you shouldn't have a podcast.
Yeah, but I will also say this. If you're a fucking comedian, don't do a podcast that's what every other comedian does and just talk about comedy and I was in the green room doing this. It's fucking horrible. Do something different.
Well, yeah, once again.
And don't work out bits on a podcast either. That's another thing that I fucking despise.
But it's the same, same reason. Like, why would someone put down fucking a larger comics fucking podcast to listen to yours? Give them a fucking reason.
Yeah, and I think generally the reason would be that that comic's career is going up, so someone's more inclined to watch the podcast of somebody whose career is expanding.
Well, for sure. If like it's an Aurora Borealis, like the snake that eats itself.
I know what you're talking about.
Like, oh, hey, I saw them on stage. They're funny. Oh, they have a podcast. I'll tune in. Like,
so you sort of see the authentic side of them. That's why I'm saying comedians shouldn't be doing bits or putting on a character or putting on an act on a podcast, because people are watching the podcast for the exact opposite reason. They've seen you on stage. They want to see what you're like when you're sitting down, chilling in your natural state.
I mean, that's one of the things that infuriates me with some of the porn performers I have on. Some of them try to really sex it up and like, oh, I'm such a slut. I'm like, stop. I know you in real life.
Oh, on a podcast?
On this podcast.
To you?
Yeah.
That you know?
Yeah. I have definitely...
Dude, I fucking hate that.
I have honestly stopped podcasts mid-show and be like, yo, you don't have to stop. You don't have to do this.
Dude, That's exactly what we were talking about earlier. The like shock value, the juicing it up, making it crazier than what it really is. I think that's falling out of favor now because I think people are starting to realize that it's bullshit.
Well, and the thing about it is like, if you've had an interesting life, there's enough crazy shit that's authentic.
That's a good point too.
Like, I just told a story an hour ago about almost shooting a guy. Not everyone's had that experience.
Yeah, that's wild, dude. And then you said that they were casing it, it was like a litmus test. I would never have guessed that. I thought it was just some fucking moron.
Could have been.
I mean, either way, it's a moron. But yeah, no, I agree with what you're saying. I mean, I personally, I hate it when people, like when you sit down with somebody on a podcast and all of a sudden they're doing a bit or a character. I fucking hate that.
Oh, I have legitimately stopped people mid-show and been like, yo, this is not what this is. Like,
what are they doing?
Oh, I've definitely had people like, put their like, voice, like you don't talk like that.
You know what show I've seen that I think women specifically do that, but it's because it's a show with largely female guests, is that this podcast called the Whatever Podcast.
Fuck them.
I don't like that show at all. It doesn't seem it. I have a couple of reasons, but what were you gonna say? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh, I'm fully aware. They're an anti-sex worker, and unfortunately, what happens a lot of times in this industry is performers don't actually do any research on the show they're going on. They just see the numbers and they just see what it could possibly do for their careers. And then they go on a fucking show where these misogynist pieces of shit try to bring them down for their fucking choices over their own body and lives.
Well, I mean, I definitely think that there is a level of what is it? It's like the fakeness, and that's what I don't like about it. Like these women will go on there and then they will play dumb on purpose.
Sometimes
to play to the audience, and then they're playing to the audience of these people that don't even like them to play it up so that their shit blows. I mean, it's a whole fucking. I don't know. I don't like that podcast. I don't have any problem with people doing porn or being like a sex worker necessarily. Do I think it's like the best choice in life for everybody? Definitely not. But
it's not the best choice for everyone.
But for some people,
make $260 a month.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess what I'm saying is like, when I watched that show.
Why do you watch it?
Because I had a friend that went on it. This girl I knew.
I'm sorry.
And when I watched it, I was like, oh man, this is like it's designed to clip farm, obviously.
For sure.
But it's not I don't know. I guess
it's inauthentic.
Yeah.
And part of the problem is they wouldn't exist unless sex workers kept going on it.
Yeah, that's a really good point. That's kind of what I guess I was getting at. Like when these girls go on there, and I'm telling you, it's more than what you would think, or maybe you do know, but these chicks would go on there and act dumb because they know that it would get them clipped. Like they would get clipped into the podcast, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, well I'll get views." And I'm like, "Dude, you're playing into that's the whole gambit. It's a fucking dumb whatever."
They're making their bag.
I have no fucking sympathy for when people put themselves in situations like that on purpose. And I would argue that by going on a show like that, you kind of are. Why would you do that? I don't like.
No, I mean, I fully understand why people go on it. People go on it because they see the numbers. They see.
Yeah, I know. You're right.
I can tell you firsthand the amount of people who come to this show who have never watched a full episode, who have barely ingested the clips. They just know I'm a popular show in the industry. And then when they come here and I'm not asking them how they got into the industry, I don't ask any of the stereotypical bullshit. Like, I don't give a fuck how you got into the industry. I don't care if your parents know. I don't care about what your favorite position is, who you want to work with. I don't even want to talk about shit that happens on set unless it's completely fucking weird. Because I work on sets. I don't care.
Yeah, you already know all that shit.
Yeah.
Right.
And if I'm not entertained by it, I can't imagine the audience is going to be entertained by it.
Well, because that's your audience is probably already informed about most of that because you have, I would assume, sort of a niche audience to a degree.
I do. I also have a bunch of angry incels who are upset that I don't ask the girls the questions they want to know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's that's interesting. You definitely have a sort of a unique, you have a unique position
I do.
for sure. That you've done all that work and you're not doing what the average sex worker podcast is doing, so to speak. You know.
Well, yeah, that's why many people want to come do this show. That's why there's some people in the industry who don't do any other fucking podcasts besides mine. Because they don't want to be asked the stereotypical bullshit.
What's a like a sex worker podcast that exists out there that you do like? Are there not many? Because they kind of regurgitate the same shit, right?
So you're putting me in an awkward position because, like, I have friends that run shows, and I want to.
You don't want to badmouth them, yeah.
Like, I want to support my friend's products.
No, that's fair, yeah.
But there's also some other shows out there that are wildly inauthentic that are much like whatever in a different sense. They're just trying to clip.
Right, and the funny thing is that the clips from these shows, like, okay, so for anybody that doesn't really know what whatever is, it's a live stream that's like, it's like 7 hours long. So they have all these chicks come on and they purposefully generally will get these women that are not the brightest always. And then sometimes they'll have girls come in that are actually really smart, but then they act stupid and it's 7 hours long. So you can imagine that in a period of 7 hours. I mean, how many stupid things have you and I said on this podcast? You know, maybe a couple here and there, but
37.
like, oh yeah, so exactly. So over a period of like 6 or 7 hours, you're gonna say so much dumb shit that they're gonna be able to farm a clip, and that's going to, you know, go viral. And then these women will think that it's going to help them in their career, but generally it just makes them kind of look like a dumbass, gets the person views, and pisses a bunch of people off.
It also does generate some OF fucking subscribers.
Which is crazy because the people that are watching it are people that you would think wouldn't like the OnlyFans type girls.
Yeah, they still want to come.
It's crazy, dude.
They still want to come. Well, and
it's like it's such an enigma and a paradox to me. I mean, whatever. It
comes back to there's no such thing as bad press.
100% agree with that. 100% agree with that.
Once again, how do you stand out from the noise from the 2.5 million OF creators?
But then, yeah, to do that, you're creating like shock value content or something that's inauthentic, or the media game is a fucking nightmare, dude.
Oh, for sure. And
it really is.
It's one of those things where, like, I've been doing the show, it'll be 10 years in March.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's a successful podcast right there, dude.
It's a long-running podcast, I would say.
No, if it's still running after fucking 10 years, dude.
That might be because I'm a crazy person and I like writing off my alcohol on my taxes.
Allegedly.
No, I 100% write off my alcohol on my taxes. The show's called it Now We Drink. Of course I do.
It's not illegal for you, actually. No, I'm so used to committing crimes that anytime I say something like that, I'm like, oh, yeah, allegedly.
No, 100%. I write off my alcohol on my taxes. But am I the biggest show in the industry? No. Am I the biggest podcast? No.
Yeah, but you're doing what you like and you're authentic. You're a real person, which I respect more than any sort of big show, personally.
100%. And like, I've had people who have done my show and done the big shows, and I had one of them who's a very big star behind the scenes. She's just like, yeah, when I go do their show, I'm just thinking of what I'm going to say for my viral moment. Like, I'm just trying to when I do your show, I'm just relaxed and trying to have fun.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, though. You know, it is part of the marketing thing, but it's I
hate it. I hate the inauthenticity. I hate
what because they thought about what they were going to say beforehand.
No, I just hate the inauthenticity. Like, if you are marketing a fucking scripted product, cool, no problem. When you are blurring the lines of kayfabe and like,
like is that comes from wrestling?
It does.
Where you don't know if they're a character anymore,
right?
Or then you're getting to the point of full blown delusion,
right? And what pisses me off, because I've had this happen, I've had people comment over the years, be like, "Why'd you tell her to say that?" Because they think it's all fucking fake.
Yeah, then yeah, that's interesting. I didn't really think about that.
Like,
So
I
by
get
having
blowback.
somebody on that's manufacturing a viral moment, people think that you're in on it, and then you lose your legitimacy
Yeah.
and your wow, yeah,
Yeah, no,
that's
I've had people like, it's just like, I didn't tell her to say shit. That's what she said. That's how she reacted to the stimulus.
that's why you hate it. Okay, interesting.
I mean, that's part of the reason I hate it.
I personally don't really think there's much of an issue of doing a show where you've thought about, hey, this is the way I'm going to present something to make it into like a clippable like a structure, you know. But I'm also not coming on and like doing something to like I'm not fabricating or manufacturing anything. Like
Right, but these people are. Like, a good
what's an
example. A good example.
beat me to it, dude.
A good example was one of the other big industry podcasts had 2 performers on and brought a elderly male performer on, and claimed that he was one of the performer's grandfathers. And this is just an older male talent. And
Is this going where I think it's going?
of course it is.
Oh God, that's fuck.
And girl A, whose grandfather was there, storms off set when other girl starts fucking him, like as part of this podcast. It's just like, why are you presenting this like it's real? And like, I understand,
That's insane.
but I understand it from a marketing standpoint, because like half the comment section was like, that's so and so male talent. They knew, like the real porn marks knew. The other people were like, oh my God, I can't believe, like,
This is disgusting. People still believe the internet. It's crazy.
right. It's so kayfabe. It is so kayfabe. But as someone who just has real conversations with people and it goes wherever the fuck it goes.
That's the antithesis of what you do. And
right. And it's just like, it bums me out, because it
Yeah.
bums me out that I get lumped in with that. Like, if people could easily differentiate between the products, be like, whatever. Like, I'm not mad at you for making your bag.
When it's obviously performative, it's different than if they're trying really hard to make it seem real. Is what you're saying?
Yeah.
I agree.
I mean, and if you have a working brain cell, it was not, it would never pass the sniff test on being real.
Well, maybe that's because you might have, that insider knowledge.
Well, I
don't-
100%. No, I 100%. I had, right before that fucking came out, edited a scene with that dude and another girl. So like, I'm like, that's Jack Moore. I know exactly who that is.
Well,
That is not that girl's grandfather.
right.
Oh, it's very inside baseball.
As long as it's like you said, it's easily distinguishable or whatever vernacular you used. I would agree then that it's not as big of a deal. But dude, when people are making, I mean, I don't know, man.
But that's the problem when like a lot of these shows.
I can't knock the hustle, but I also don't agree with it.
Right, like it's not anything I want to do. I'm not knocking the hustle, but I don't want to be lumped in with you either.
Yeah, the fact that you have people saying that you told her to say something is wild.
Yeah,
That's crazy to me.
Gary, have I told you to say anything tonight?
You have a gun pointed at me under the table.
Sorry, let me put some ice on that.
I
I didn't mean to get hard. Sorry,
I-
my bad. My bad.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know what somebody. I don't know what somebody would even try to push. I don't know what somebody would try to get me to say, to put, you know what I'm saying? Like outside of like if I was sponsored by somebody or something. Like normally I'm drinking fucking new tonics because my buddy Chris created them and they legitimately got me off of Adderall for a while. I took some Adderall recently to get the documentary done. But I'll bring those on and I'll bring somebody one. But that's because it actually works.
Hey, if they want to sponsor the show,
Yeah.
send my way. Shit.
No, dude. If I would have been flying, I would have brought you some. I try to bring them to people because, dude, so many people I know are like, dude, I've been trading my drug dealer new tonics because dude, legit. They're fucking cool though. They're the only thing is that they have sucralose. So, well, it makes you shit sometimes. But I'm drinking like 5 of these a day, which the recommendation is to drink like 3. But I was on so much Adderall and amphetamines that, I had to like really substitute something for real. I had a serious drug problem, obviously, as you know. But yeah, other than like pushing products, which I don't really think is, I don't think there's really that. I don't see an issue with that. I mean, everybody has to do it to pay their bills, kind of, in the entertainment industry. But unless you have like a big crowdsourced following, or you're, you got like financiers to pay for your projects or whatever, I don't really see an issue with that.
No, there's zero problems with paying the bills. Like, as I said, my only beef is being lumped in with someone we're on the polar opposite end of authenticity.
Yeah.
I don't want to be lumped in. I have no beef with what you do. I just don't want to be lumped in with.
I'll just tell somebody to fuck themselves then. If somebody's like, your friend, here's an example. I mean, this hasn't really happened, but people will be like, oh, you're friends with Uncle Laser. You guys are just like doing cocaine and fucking around. And even when I wasn't doing cocaine, people would say that. And I'd just be like, yeah, fuck off. But I guess that's not that big of a deal. I don't know.
It's not. Fuck them.
Yeah. Fuck them.
The majority of people are fucking idiots. You shouldn't take what they have to say fucking seriously in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I mean, there's people on the internet right now that think I'm gay.
Well, by your own
admission.
You're saying I'm gay. By your own admission.
Yeah, that's on me.
But also, even if you were gay, who cares?
Well, I don't know. Actually, I don't know who would care.
Yeah. Would your parents disown you?
No. Hey, I am gay.
Cool. Well, it's one of those things where, like,
I've been saying that on a lot of podcasts lately. I think it's kind of funny.
Thanks for giving me the recycled content.
You told me to say that.
I did not tell you. God damn it. God damn it, Gary.
Full circle.
You're not supposed to say that on fucking air. You're supposed to fucking keep that off air that I told you to say that.
Yeah, I mean, like, if somebody was to tell me to say something, I would never fucking ever say something unless I wanted to say it. So theoretically, somebody could say, hey, say this. And if I thought it was funny, I guess I would say that. But I would never fucking say something that I didn't want to or I thought was fucking
I'm
dumb.
sure in some people's minds, I'm a fucking, mover and shaker in the adult entertainment industry. And if you don't do what I say, it'll have negative impact.
Yeah, I guess. Okay, I see what you're saying now.
Like, you got to say what, or I don't. Okay, well, I'm.
Like, there's the invisible hand and invisible influence of somebody in a position of power saying, hey, let's make this extra crazy, say something that's not totally real, to exacerbate the audience and get everybody riled up or something.
On one hand, I'm like, oh, I can't say I don't matter for shit. Like, I am connected in the fucking industry, but like, I don't ever come across one of these fucking things and do one of these things where like, oh my God, I'm going to fucking change your career. Like,
yeah, I get what you're saying.
But for me to be like, oh, I have no influence, like, well, that's not accurate either.
Yeah, well,
not to toot my own fucking horn or some shit, but
I guess the way I was looking at it was like, there's a difference between, having like an authentic conversation, but then there's also like some level of, like showmanship that goes into entertaining someone, which I guess I do from time to time, but I don't consider that, inauthentic necessarily. Like sometimes I'll fucking, cut loose and go a little crazy just to make people laugh or entertain them.
There's a point of, being on versus being inauthentic. Yeah.
Well, this is the kind of shit that I think about a lot because I'm in the realm of journalism and news. And when things are, I hold authenticity pretty close to my heart in terms of what, principles I value. So I don't know.
It's a balancing act, but there are things that are definitely wildly inauthentic that like, hey, I know you. This is not who you are as a real human being.
Yeah. I also guess I'm thinking about all this shit in terms of what I do. And you're talking about like porn stars. So I'm like, it's just, the dichotomy between the two is not exactly similar,
I'm sure it happens with comedians too.
But with comedians, it is.
I've definitely had some comedians on who are like, them before the camera start rolling are like, sane human beings. And the minute like the camera starts rolling, yuck, 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 yuck. Yeah. It's just like,
yes. I mean, sometimes I'm in a mood to have a conversation, and sometimes I'm in a fucking crazy person mood. But I'm also like fucking out of my mind.
But also like if we're riffing and having a good time, there's different energy versus like you being wildly inauthentic and fucking playing a character.
Oh yeah, I'll never fucking do that.
Right. Well, I've definitely had comedians on. It's just like,
yeah, they do it a lot.
Yeah.
They're the worst about it, actually. They do bits and yeah.
It's just like 5 minutes ago, before these cameras were rolling, you were not doing this.
Right.
Like, why do you feel the need? This is how you. I'm also, as a host, like, I am down to help you portray yourself however you want to portray yourself on the internet. Like, there's no dress code here. Be who you want to be, but like,
can I take my pants off?
Sure. I don't give a fuck. I work on porn sets. Do you think I give a fuck about seeing your
No, I'm just joking, man. I don't need to take my pants off.
Neither wants.
Hey, by the way, this is Malort's, yeah? From Chicago. Dude, when I was up there, I was asking people about it, and they were like, yeah, it's the fucking worst tasting alcohol ever. Recently, I finally tried it. It actually is. It is the worst.
Oh, no, I feed it to porn stars all the time.
They'll drink it? They'll drink anything, huh?
Well, no, it's bonus content I do for the show for the Patreon. I get people to do a shot alert with me.
Oh, yeah, it's fucking rough, dude.
It is.
It's horrible.
It is. I tell them beforehand. I tell everyone.
I don't know if there's anything you could say to actually get somebody prepared for how bad it is. If they've never had it.
I know, that's half the fun. Half the fun.
Well.
But on that note, Gary, I hate to do it. We're going to call last call on this motherfucker.
All right, man. It was good talking.
It was. But before we get out of here, tell them where they can find you on the things.
Okay, so the documentary we made is on YouTube, on the Street Gonzo YouTube. It's called Exposing the Shadow Government of Puerto Rico, and it's 2 hours long, but it's definitely...
That's a wordy-ass title.
Well, that's the YouTube title. It's just for keywords. But the actual title of the documentary is Power Pirates. But that's what you got to search to find it on YouTube. And then on Instagram, my Instagram is Street Gonzo as well. So all the content regarding Puerto Rico is there. I'm kind of on a Puerto Rico kick right now because I want to push this as much as possible. It's the first video that we've done on our YouTube channel, first independently produced Street Gonzo. And there's also, we have some other stuff coming up. We went to Dearborn, Michigan, and we infiltrated some mosques. And we staked out a building and actually did a B&E. So it's a lot, but it's good. It's good stuff. Then that'll be coming out like in a couple weeks. So.
Oh, yeah. This is fucking fun. And it's years in the fucking making.
Yeah, for real. It really was.
Yeah.
That's crazy that finally happened. Well, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for having me on.
Absolute pleasure. Until next week, drink up, motherfuckers.